My Day. It's just that we haven't told them yet. Make My Day starts Thursday at 11:15 on S4C.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny and Denise enter the Big Breakfast House!
Just to have 2 hours, just to prat about and do what you like, and just annoy producers was just, it's just fantastic. For me, it was just the best gig ever.
The Big Breakfast probably was the most fantastic experience for me. Hated the early mornings, but I loved doing the show.
Quite good, isn't it?
How does that work?
I don't know, Dad. I'll tell you what, Dad. It really growls down there, doesn't it? It's unbelievable. Anyway, this is invented by...
When I first auditioned for The Big Breakfast, I auditioned as the weather girl. And I was just so desperate to work on the show because I'd heard that it was great. I'd never even watched the show before. And my main reason for wanting to get the job, and this is the truth, is that I'd met this guy and I was trying to get him to go out with me. And I thought, if I get the job on The Big Breakfast, he'll definitely be putty in my hands.
First of all, we have Richard here. How are you, Richard?
Good morning, just fine, thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
And you too.
You dirty devil.
We had no rehearsals, nothing. We gave up rehearsals. We even gave up talking about items. It became, no, it's cheating. It's cheating. And we had show chicken, whereby it was Denise and I seeing if you could actually sit in your chair on the actual 5 count going into the show. Where have you been, Denise?
I went to the toilet.
Did you? Mid-show?
I could hear you in the toilet.
Did you? Doing the show? You think, wait a second, I remember being on that bit.
So sorry.
Johnny is so funny, I can't tell you, and he's exactly the same off camera as he's on camera.
Working with Denise, it's always good from the word go, because Denise has a knack, which I don't have, she just knows when something will really run.
What's in your pink sack, Dad?
Look, have a look. Hang on a minute.
What could it be? She's getting something pink and fluffy from her pink sack.
Hang on down there a little bit. Charlie Dimmock.
Yeah. Another thing that I really loved doing was my Pat Butcher. Pat and Frank, and I'll never forget when Barbara Windsor came on the show and we actually did a whole scene from EastEnders. Classic.
Pet. Oh, pet, honey.
Frank, what are you doing here?
Oh, pet, honey. I love you, babe. I love everything about you. Your beautiful face, your goddess-like body.
Oh, Frank, you shouldn't be here, Frank. It ain't right, Frank.
It's not right at all. You're nothing like them.
The one we got onto that was naughty with that one was when we were talking about Pat and Frank doing sex instruction videos. Denise and I used to do those quite a bit. I don't know if any of them ever leaked on air. We're saying how funny that would be. No, pour some honey, oh yeah. Oh, Pat, yeah, babe, I'm getting that. I am getting that.
Everybody suspected that we had a little bit of a thing going on. But do you know what it is? I think the reason why we could take it that far and flirt so much on TV was because we're both in very secure relationships.
The latest high street fashion. I think you're fantastic.
I think you're absolutely fantastic.
High street fashion with stylist to the stars, Ashley Rossiter.
But you are.
But in the meantime, this is Channel 4. And what are they watching, Johnny?
Oh, they're just watching you, Dan.
They're just watching
They're just watching you.
The thing about it was, you saw it all. That was it. It was just on screen. We didn't see each other, outside work, because that's it. You finish the show and she locks herself in a dressing room and gets all starry.
It's your
number one big ready, so get it down your necky.
This is Den saying goodbye for one last time.
I finished the show and I went home and I cried all day. I was so upset. I was devastated. Tony, my driver, I think thought I was mad because I cried all the way home in the car.
The woman, the legend, the one, the only. A woman I'm proud to have called my friend for 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Tubman! she's got sunshine. Just when she comes in a room, it's a leisure kind of place.
I did have a lot of fun when I worked on here, and naughty, mischievous fun.
I'm about to swing myself down this incredibly high building in order to retrieve it. Over and out.
Morning, I'm
hasn't done it
Lisa
again, has she?
Tarbuck. It's the 6th of July. Here is what's coming up on the show today.
Sitting next to him when he was off on a spiral, you knew there were times when you didn't interfere, and there were times when actually you knew you just had to. And then there were times of devilment where you just thought, no, I'm going to stop your flow there, because you need to have your flow stopped.
Do you watch The Sopranos midweek incidentally?
No, much
Awesome.
too busy having a life. You want to get yourself...
Walk right into that one.
Vaughan wasn't even allowed to have coffee. If anyone came near him after one cup of coffee, just be like, no, don't give him another. And it's like his mum used to say, who's given the puppy chocolate?
A laptop.
I think Thatch of the Day was something else. And actually we were told we couldn't do that anymore, because that was getting a bit rude.
You look tired. I don't like you being up all night.
There was a disturbance in the rear of my premises.
What's that?
There was.
We were having a dare just how rude we could go. That hands up. I think that was pretty obvious, actually.
It was at 6.
Was there a cock up our end?
We had a cock up our end, but we're all right now.
My fondest memory of breakfast, I'm a bit embarrassed now, but I've not really got many heartthrobs as such anymore, now that Bros have disbanded. But it was, and still kind of is, a little bit Will Smith. But the Big Breakfast helped me to get him out of my system by putting me on a big double bed and filming us together. So he was on the bed upstairs, me and Will Smith, and he demonstrated a screen kiss on me. The only bad thing about working on it was getting up at 3:30, which is a slight downside, and then developing a rash all under my eyes from lack of sleep.
What technique did you use to get yourself noticed when you first
Oh,
started?
it was something like that. I just threw my clothes at people and said...
Adam, I'm sorry. I'm sorry back with my knickers. Oh, sorry.
Oh, they're clean, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
They're clean,
Adam,
that's
thanks.
comfort.
In my small, well, in my larges.
Another great thing about the break was just getting people on and they'd just join in our world. That was great. They really were on our turf. It was a lovely thing. We used to do our interviews, you know, and they'd be doing boring junkets all day. They'd come in our shed to be interviewed. Woody Allen, you know, about a month after I left, I got a request to, would I take the shed to New York? Because he so remembered the shed. It was the only UK interview he wanted to do, and he would just love that shed.
Do you have a place where you kind of get away from it all? Do you have
yes, but it's my bedroom. I mean, it's not a shed. When I want to get away from it, I go into my apartment, and I get into the bedroom and get into the bed, take my pad and pencil and write, and nobody disturbs me. It's great. I wouldn't know what to do in a shed like this. There's not a single article in here that I would not maim myself with if I tried to.
Big names. And what used to happen is they used to have their bit of the show, and then the whole crew would off upstairs to do, say, Wayne Hemingway, and you'd be left with, like, Uma Thurman just hanging out with the family in the room, or, you know, they'd just be left there, or with Weird Tattoo Man. You'd have, like, Michael Keaton just sitting next to Weird Tattoo Man, and they found it quite interesting. Well, You Beauty, you remember that craze? It was actually at Wimbledon, and you had the commentators there going, the You Beauty signs going up there. Pat Cash trying to make out, yeah, it's an Australian thing. I think, no, it's not, Pat, you mug. It's a big breakfast thing.
You beauty there.
The thing about doing these hours is that you're working completely within a bubble.
Weird timetable. It's like being, I don't know, I suppose it's like being part of a fundamentalist religious group. In that when I was doing it, it dominated my whole life, everything. Everything funny that happened, anything that happened just becomes material for the hungry big breakfast.
Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know they won't win.
It's such a shame that after 9 years, The Big Breakfast is going.
Why take it off? Why? You've got talented cameramen, you've got a production team who, putting a production team together like that takes years, and it's together now, you know, and they should keep it together because it's mad to disband. It's like saying to Man United, right, we're gonna sell you all off to different clubs, and we're not gonna have Man United anymore. Why? What's the point? There's no point.
You've got a brand like that that's so strong and so well known. It just seems a shame, just, you know.
In the beginning, we had nothing to lose, so we were fearless. And now you've been told you're going to get axed, so so you're fearless, and so you've got the freedom again, which is why you're doing really well. And if it's about capturing and keeping that freedom.
But anyway, listen. Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks to all the crew for making it my favourite job. Thanks, guys.
I had the best time ever.
But if you are thinking of complaining, don't phone because it was just for fun.
Much more you can add to that. That is it. It is over. And all morning we have been getting a number of messages of support. And this one has just come in, which is particularly special and we're particularly grateful for. It has come in from the Prince of Wales. This is from... It's a genuine. It's from St James's Palace. And here's what it says. It is always an immense pity when an institution fades. And that is certainly true of something as special and as peculiarly, fascinatingly, annoyingly British as The Big Breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
I can't claim to have watched every show since it began, but I do know that for 10 years, The Big Breakfast has amused, entertained and informed a great many people with verve, with wit and with a tremendous sense of fun that very few shows at that hour of day can match. Congratulations, Big Breakfast, on your contribution not just to the groundbreaking role you and Planet 24 have played in British television, but also to the very British way of waking up in the morning this last decade. Many will mourn your passing as they would a great friend, because that is what you have become. And the very best of luck in the future to all those who have been associated with such a tremendous success. You deserve it. HRH, the Prince of Wales. Grateful for that, and also a man equally watches the show. Thank you again. Now it is Friday, and it wouldn't be Friday without the Friday song. Yeah!
Yeah! On the fingers of Eric.
Don't do that. We will be singing together and saying our final goodbyes when we return after this break.